This is the Writers of the Lost Zord podcast, and this is Andy.
Nami-chan.
And Shigeru Joe.
And for this week's episode, we're going to be talking about Simpsons Halloween specials.
Some of the most creative stuff ever from Matt Groening. The Matt guy.
That show, in its prime, had some of the best writers on television.
And they still do, it's just that they kind of lost some steam.
I think they've lost more than a little.
I mean, any show that's going on for 26 seasons has some seasonal rot here and there.
Which, I mean, you got to give it kudos. It's been going this long. It's been renewed up until at least season 30. You got to give them credit. I mean, if they can keep it up. Well, I thought the movie was all right.
Yeah, the movie's nothing really to write home about, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of it.
I mean, it could have easily just been like 2 or 3 episodes of the show if they wanted to do another multi-episode arc.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Who Shot Mr. Burns?
The only multi-episode arc they've ever done, which they did very well, to be honest. It was one of their better episodes.
Damn it, Maggie!
But anyway, we're talking about the Treehouse of Horrors. It's the part of the show where the writers get to go on to their more, let's say, creative responses.
Creative and
which means more violence, more blood, and also more the devil.
They get to kind of let loose more than they would just during a regular episode.
Or
and make references and parodies from even older stuff like Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven to H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds.
I liked how they did The Raven. Just to interject on that, because they didn't really make it. They didn't Simpsonify it. You know, I mean, it had Simpsons characters in it, but I mean, it was still The Raven. It wasn't. It wasn't full of like slapstick comedy or anything. It was The Raven, plain and simple. They trimmed it down, obviously, but I appreciate how they did that.
I do too, as I'm a big horror fan, and I love Edgar Allan Poe in general, just because it's creepy.
You know what would have been scarier than that? Anything.
Selma in a bikini.
Oh, that'll replace the giant squid in my nightmares. Fun fact, Conan O'Brien actually created the character of the sea captain.
Really?
Yard.
Yes, he was a writer on The Simpsons for a couple of years before he got his late night show.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I know he made the sea captain. Let me look it up. I know he made a few characters, but the sea captain's the only one that I can remember off the top of my head.
Did he also create Bumblebee Man?
He may have. I'm looking it up because I think he did make the Bumblebee Man.
Oy caramba, míos Dios.
Which is funny because he doesn't actually speak correct Spanish. It's just Spanish that we think sounds right.
Right. Oh yeah, so, some of my favorite skits from this are like Time and Punishment, The Shinning.
The Shinning. You want to get sued?
Ghost Did It Ad?
I don't remember that one.
I can't remember. There was the House 3000 that was a parody of the HAL 3000.
And it had James Bond in it.
Yep.
Yeah, the one from the 90s movies.
The one where Willie is basically Freddy Krueger.
That's one of my top 5.
Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace.
Yes.
I think that was also the same one that had the 3D model of Homer.
I think so.
If it's not in that one, it's in one of the bracket years, because I know I saw that one right around the same time that I saw Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace.
Another one of my favorites was Send in the Clones. Homer clones himself to do other chores, and they're half as smart as he is. So
you're a clone? What happened to the real Homer? First one over cliff. See, this is a standing testament to that show, that we can talk about this and just name off lines from the show without thinking about it. It's that ingrained in our culture.
Oh, the episode, wasn't there like the El Barto episode, I believe it was?
I know there's been a running thing where Bart uses the name El Barto.
And
yeah, in the early years.
I think Homer found out in one episode or something, or it's like a joke about him calling himself El Homo.
Yeah, they did a joke, and he wrote El Homo and didn't think about it, and then he screamed and scribbled over it.
I mean, The Simpsons, any show that has been going on for, 30 years soon?
The show is basically as old as I am. I think it came out like a year or two after I was born.
Well, it was 1989.
Okay, 3 years.
I honestly really liked last year's Halloween special because they kind of self-referentiated themselves.
Is that the one where they had like ghosts or something, and it was their Tracy Ullman?
I think that was the year before, because last year I believe it was the pop-up grocery was a pop-up store, and it was actually just like one whole episode, but it was all Halloween themed. Which for the Halloween specials, that was a decent change of pace, actually doing something different from the usual.
See, I think that's part of the decline of the show. They don't really do different things that much anymore, aside from the seasonal episodes. Just, during the regular run of the season, it's kind of, wash, rinse, repeat again.
We can also agree that the worst episode is one with Lady Gaga. No offense to her, but...
I'll do anything but sing. You're going to sing.
And she's like, no, I'm not. And then she goes at the end and just like, okay, this episode didn't need to be a thing.
But it had Lady Gaga for whatever fucking reason. Does anybody even like her anymore?
No.
Nothing really against her. I just don't prefer music. I like the parodies that come out of her music, but that's about it.
Yeah, she might be a really nice person. I don't know. I don't want to say anything about her character. I just don't care for her music either.
So, some facts about Treehouse of Horror here. So far, there are 27 episodes. There have been 15 that have been aired before Halloween, 11 after Halloween, and 2 on Halloween.
Man, that's a bad statistic for being a Halloween episode. You think it would be aired on Halloween?
Oh, at least near it, because not every Halloween's going to be on a Sunday. That's every 7 years, roughly.
But with the clout this show has, they can be like, hey, we want to air this show on Tuesday. What is Fox going to do? Say no?
Yes.
They're not going to piss the Simpsons off.
What are they going to do? Move Bones around? You know how much money Bones is making.
The Simpsons has been on that network since that network was founded.
Oh yeah, it's probably one of the best things to come out of Fox News.
Yeah, they even listed all the bad, quote-unquote, bad shows that they've had in the recent Treehouse of Horror, including Whoops.
I don't even remember that show.
Okay, Whoops is this guy survives a nuclear holocaust just because he was in the most safest car in the world.
Oh, that sounds ridiculous from the start.
At least it's not, Heil, honey, I'm home.
I would almost watch that just for the laughs. There would have to be some kind of stupid joke in there that would make you laugh.
And they didn't even last one episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If you want to see Hitler talking with a Brooklyn accent, you watch Heil Hitler, I'm home, or whatever, right?
If I want to see Hitler being funny, I'll just watch Kung Fury. Go watch Kung Fury, people.
Inglourious Bastards.
That was a good movie.
So, any other skits that you guys liked?
My personal favorite is, I gotta find the correct name of it. Give me one moment. The Devil and Homer Simpson from Treehouse of Horror 4. The whole skit from start to finish is nothing but comedy gold. It starts out, Homer's in the power plant, and he wants a donut, as is his M.O. He runs to the break room. The box of donuts is empty. So he runs back, panicking, and he says to himself, remember your training. So he grabs this big training manual that's like the size of like VCR or like a Laserdisc player or something. Flips it open. Yes. And he had knifed out the middle of it to put a donut in there. He pulls out a donut. I owe you one emergency donut, signed Homer. Homer, in good writing, Homer just clinches it and says, that bastard. And just says, like any person has said at one time, I will sell my soul for blank, meaning, for Homer, a donut. Well, he hears a voice behind him, turns around, and it's the devil, Ned Flanders. Homer proceeds to sell his soul for a donut. Go ahead.
I believe there's also the line that, Flanders, you're the devil? Well, it's always the ones you least expect.
Which makes perfect sense. It would always be the one you least suspect. And who else but Ned Flanders could be the devil? But
he's still funny.
But staying true to Flanders' character, he actually tries to help Homer and tells him, have you thought about the ramifications of selling your soul? And in those 5 seconds, Homer eats all but one bite of the donut, and in a remarkable spurt of intelligence, Homer asks him, if I don't finish this last bite, you technically don't get my soul, do you? Which Flanders replies, no, I wouldn't. Homer thinks he just has one, so he puts the little donut in his pocket, or the little pizza donut. Flash forward to that night. Homer's going through the refrigerator. I don't know why he put it in the refrigerator, but he did. He goes over turkey legs, ham, everything in the refrigerator, grabs that one piece of donut and eats it. And there's some comedy in there. Devil pops up. He's ready to take Homer. Convinces him to have a trial for Homer's soul, but Homer's going to have to spend the day in hell. Little part of the episode is fucking fantastic. I don't want to give a synopsis of the whole episode because I could sit here and talk for 20 minutes about it, but that is my favorite Halloween episode. The Jury of the Damned is so good. I mean, it just I could see that being a jury for Satan, and in the end, well, no, I'm not going to spoil it in case somebody does watch it. I'll just leave off with that is my favorite Halloween episode.
John?
I'm actually kind of torn between two, personally. There's a lot of really good ones out there, but I honestly am very partial to the one where Bart and Lisa go to hell, literally, and Bart transfers into hell school, because that's a thing.
Oh, school of course is hell.
And it's just so weird and dumb, and I love it. It's like, oh, Bart actually found a place where he belongs because he's torturing people. And in order to pass his class, he has to torture Homer.
Oh boy!
He's like, yes, I want you to fucking mutilate me. And you just see him in the next scene, just like in pieces, basically. And there's some really spot on humor too. And it just there's a scene where this girl mocks Lisa when she first exit hell, and is like. And she basically sasses back, and then it starts snowing, and she's like, "I guess it was true. It would be a cold day in hell before I became popular."
That's actually a good joke.
I mean, and the other one, there's a lot. It's pretty short, but the other one I'm kind of partial to is Dial M for Murder, I believe it is.
Dial M for Murder. There's another part to it. Let me check here.
It's not the zombie one, but it's
Dial M for Murder or press pound to return to main menu.
Is that the one where they're eating the kids?
No.
That's
another one of my favorites, but the other one...
That's Cafeteria Nightmare.
It's the one where basically Lisa gets detention for we don't really know. I don't think.
Disrupting class.
Yeah, and basically her and Bart talking to tension about hey, you do that, you get my teacher and I'll get yours. And they basically switch off, and it's like, and she thinks oh, just prank her or something. No, Bart literally goes out and kills Lisa's teacher and starts blackmailing Lisa.
Yeah, that's I think it's a reference to Killing Mr. Dang. It's a book called Killing Mr. Red. I think it feels like to me a reference to that book.
And just she's even tempted to cut off Mrs. Krabappel's head at one point with the paper cutter, but she doesn't. And basically Bart starts blackmailing her, like, hey, if you don't kill Mrs. Krabappel, I'll have groundskeeper really tell the police that they saw you kill. They kill what's her name? I forget her name. Lisa's teacher, because she's like never heard from that often. But and Lisa's like, why would you do that? And he holds up Skinner's head, crisscross.
Oh, Miss Hoover is Lisa's teacher.
Yes.
There we go. And it's just like and it ends kind of like, and it ends and it's just like, it's just really fun as an episode. Like, it's all done in basically black and white, which like media do that anymore, which is really just a nice little touch to make it more dramatic. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, what about you, Dallas? Any hero joke?
Yeah, who cares?
We can edit it in post.
We're gonna switch off and people aren't gonna care. Oh yeah, my favorite is Frankenstein.
Ah, yes, that one was funny.
Yeah, Dr. Frink brings his dad back from the dead because a giant shark bit off like most of his small intestine and other stuff.
Good glazing.
The waving and the chicken nuggets and the whoop-de-dopes.
Yeah, I brought you back to life with a few minor complications. Like what? Well, you don't have a dingle doodle. Yeah, it's very fun. The way that they stop them from harvesting others' organs and body parts it's kind of lowbrow, but I still think it's hilarious because it's just physical humor.
See, the Simpsons can do lowbrow, but they do it kind
Classy.
of just classy enough to where you still laugh and you know it's just funny. It's not just like mudslinging kind of lowbrow.
Oh, I think the other Treehouse of Horror episode I really like because I just remembered the Golem one.
Oh,
Was it Krusty involved with that one?
Yes, because it was the Jewish Golem.
Yeah. I saw that one when it came out, but I don't think I've seen it since then.
And basically, there's like this one scene I always remember from it, where Bart tosses a scroll into the mouth of the golem because it's Jewish mythology at its finest. And the golem kicks the walls, and it's like, I didn't say kick his walls. And he writes another note, and he kicks Homer in the crotch.
Yeah. I'd like to give a little shout out to a honorable mention that was also in Treehouse of Horror for Bart Simpson's Dracula, and it's pretty much a fairly Simpsons straightforward take at Bram Stoker's Dracula, and obviously Mr. Burns is Dracula, and it's got some good one-liners, and the family is completely oblivious to things except for Lisa, pretty much. And it kind of goes back to the Golem joke a little bit is why I'm bringing this up. At the end, they figure out Burns is the head vampire, and they have to go kill him. And they go down into his chamber where he's sleeping, and Homer has a mallet and a stake, and Lisa turns to him. To kill him, you have to put this stake in his heart, Dad. So Homer jams the stake into him and starts just hammering as hard as he can. And when Lisa turns to him serious, Dad, that's his crotch. And Homer just starts laughing. Oh, I'm sorry. And he rips it back out and he puts it in his heart and he hammers again. Burns goes through this dramatic dying little montage and dies. And, Homer said something like, I've just lived the American dream. I've killed my boss. And just for one last little joke in this scene, Burns comes back to life for 3 seconds and just yells at Homer, "You're fired."
Oh.
And I have to give that one an honorable mention just for the joke of Homer saying that and then jamming a stake into his boss's crotch.
Yeah,
and then it turns out that I think Marge is the head vampire. I think it's Marge. It's one of the family.
It's Maggie.
No, it's not Maggie. I know that.
Oh, I thought it was making with James Earl Jones' voice.
Oh my god, that was so funny. This is indeed a disturbing universe. And then she kills Willie.
The other way around, but yeah.
Another Treehouse of Horror one is, I remember it's one where they're making fun of the Great Pumpkin from Charlie Brown.
Oh yeah, the pumpkin eats everybody. Should have met the kite-eating tree.
And then, Robot Chicken. But and I always remember the part at the end where Marge is has like the trombone and she's making the peanuts noises. Wah, 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 wah. She's like, if you have any complaints about tonight's episode, you can send them to wah, 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 on the trombone.
Yeah.
I mean, when they do the Treehouse of Horror, they do parodies just right.
They do.
They do.
I mean, they even made fun of Twilight in one of the Treehouse of Horrors. I think it was the same one.
I saw the
Tweenlight
previews for it, but I don't think I've actually. Wait,
the skit is called Tweenlight in Treehouse of Horror 21.
Who was the guest star in that one? Somebody was the male lead in that. Was it the guy from Twilight?
Let me see here.
Because I remember
Twilight.
I mean, there's like this one scene I remember in that episode where the vampire is like trying to feed off Homer, and he just like starts shrinking at him, and he just gets really huge and fat because
Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, Harry Potter.
And Hugh Laurie.
I know that name, but I honestly don't know why.
House.
Oh, he was House? Okay.
Yeah. Could also made a really good Gordon Freeman.
You know, people are going to hurt me. I've never played Half-Life.
Neither have I.
Or me.
Well, looks like we're all going to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least they still have fun torturing people in school.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that he's in the thing he's called Edmund.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There's actually some good jokes in it's one of the first three, and it might be the first one. I still can't remember the name of them, but it's the one where Lisa wants to bring her dead cat back, and Bart mysteriously finds this part of the library that nobody's ever seen, and it's the occult section, and he finds this book, and he does this spell to try to bring back her cat, and he ends up, just raising all the dead people in the cemetery.
Dial Z for zombie.
That's it. Dial Z for zombie. And Homer lazily forgets to board up the doors and windows in the house, so the zombies come in. Homer jumps in the way of the zombies to try to protect his family, yelling at them, "Take me, but spare my family." So they come up and they knock on his head, and it just sounds like an empty coconut. They throw him away, screaming, "Brains, brains!" and just throw him away, and he just looks mad at them.
Oh, was that the same episode where the same one where there were the zombies and I mean, of course, there's zombies, but where Homer shoots Ned Flanders, like, "You shot Cindy Flanders."
That's what I was about to get to. He doesn't even say it. He doesn't even say it. Surprisingly, he's just like, he was a zombie, just because he just wanted to kill Flanders.
Stupid Flanders, stupid devil Flanders,
stupid sexy Flanders. Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
There's
nothing
a internet parody about that.
There's an internet parody about everything.
Yeah.
It has to do with the Mega Man X series and the X Armors and stuff. And it goes to like the MegaMan.exe, and it just like it feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
See, I haven't played a lot of the sub series of Mega Man, but it's awesome they put that in there.
It was a fan joke thing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many. Oh, there's the. I mean, I think one of the more creative ones was, personally for me, the board game one, where they found like the Jumanji-ish board game and like all the other board games come to life.
Yeah, and they're trying to get out with like Chutes and Ladders, Hungry Hippos, but it's all off-brand stuff. So it's like Hungry hungry dinos.
No, it was ravenous rhinos, I believe.
That makes more sense. Man, I'm trying to think.
There was a battleship or something, or
I know it's recent.
Yeah, it was like 3 years ago. Can we also talk about how awesome the Guillermo del Toro intro was for that?
That was pretty good.
Like, oh my gosh! Like, yes, do more intros for the series, please.
I also have to give a little shout out to the recurring characters that are only in the Halloween episodes, Kang and Kodos, who are named after 2 Star Trek characters.
Kang the Conqueror and...
Oh, no, well, Kang the Conqueror was from Marvel. There was also there was a Klingon in Star Trek named Kang, and then there was a guy in one episode, Kodos the Executioner. And they named them after 2 Star Trek characters.
Oh, that reminds me of one of the episodes, too, with King Kodos. I mean, well, a few, actually.
Is it the one where they take over Bill Clinton and Bob Dole's bodies and make fun of our election process? That's actually...
It's the one where they were, like... they were having, like, they were having the Simpsons for dinner, basically. Like, literally for dinner.
Oh, I think that was the very first one, and they think they're going to eat them, and they're not. No, they actually do end up like cooking them and stuff, and like they actually start using Bart as their own kid. And basically, Homer is like eating himself while he's cooking. There's also
delicious. There's some more barbecue sauce.
There's also the War of the Worlds episode that they did, like just like radio podcast and everything. Radio, it was just a radio show. It's like, oh, cool. And like the actual aliens start coming down after that, like, and start taking over, blasting everybody.
Yeah, that's how believable back then the radio was.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. Like, if I was back then and I heard that, I'd probably freak out too.
Shit! Quickly, we gotta strip down and act like animals. They're looking for humans.
There's so many good jokes within the Treehouse of Horror episodes. Just
and the people that voice Kang and Kudos is Harry Shearer. He voices Kang, and Dan Castellaneta for Kudos. I believe Dan Castellaneta voices as Homer.
Mm-hmm. I also love the World Series joke that they had to do with one of the baseball episodes with King Kudos. And like, let's just beat up the game to get to the Simpsons. And they end up basically breaking the universe.
Yeah, this stuff has always been good.
See, I feel like it has a timeless quality just because the jokes that are in at least some of the early ones aren't necessarily tied to a specific event or like a specific time. Some of them are, as I mentioned earlier, like the aliens, Kang and Kodos take over specifically Bill Clinton and Bob Dole. So, that's kind of a dated 96 joke. But like overall, you could go back 20 years from now and watch some of these and you're still going to laugh just like the first time you watched them. Or somebody that's never watched them would laugh just as much.
Just like your coworker.
Yeah. This is the strong part of The Simpsons. And technically, this has drived off to its own thing in Futurama, but we all know what happened to that show.
Sadly.
I
love Futurama.
Yeah, those to me, Futurama to me was kind of like Treehouse of Horror liked. He still did crazy stuff. It was still pretty violent, but it was in a lighter tone.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
John DiMaggio, that magnificent voice.
I mean, while we're talking about the Treehouse of Horror, I mean, we should talk about the one-off episode where they crossed over. Because that's kind of Treehouse of Horror-ish.
I remember Bender wasn't it one of the future episodes?
No, like literally they had like a legit crossover.
Yeah, it was 30 minutes.
Don't think I knew that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I heard about that.
Yeah, it was a little one episode crossover. Bender and everybody came back from the future because of Time Capsule. that Bart had put like a sandwich and his boogers in it, and
Milhouse
had put Lucky Rabbit's foot in there as well. And so basically, what happened is nuclear radiation from Springfield had seeped into the time capsule and kind of created like the weird bunny thing from that Matt Groening's earlier work, and it was basically just killing everything from in the future. I can't remember the name of the bunny thing though. Like,
I'm reading a synopsis of it. I just did not know this existed.
Yeah, Simpsons-orama.
And he actually did show up again too, I believe. Bender, at least.
Like
Marge was using him as a safe or something for money.
Yeah. Season 26, episode 6.
Mm-hmm. I will have to go watch that because I do love Futurama.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with that crossover and another crossover. For some reason, this was a lot better than the Family Guy hour-long crossover. It was really unnecessary.
It could have really been a half-hour episode, and I think that would have helped it.
Yeah, and let the Futurama one be an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, though, is that with Futurama and Simpsons, it's basically the same people who work on both shows in a sense.
Yeah.
So basically, so they have an idea of how each show works and how writing for each show works. Whereas Family Guy, all they can really do is do cutaway gags, somewhat cohesive plots,
And incest.
God.
But whatever.
I mean, the only good thing that come out of the Family Guy Simpsons crossover was the freaking chicken fight.
That was a good fight. I can accept Homer in the place of Ernie the Giant Chicken.
I mean, you even got Kane Kodos, I believe, too, right?
Yeah, their ship crashed and it like rolled sideways over the canyon or something. They were in it for a split second.
So, I'm guessing this is all we can say about the Treehouse of Horror.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we could probably do like little mini podcasts on certain other episodes that we may want to bring up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, my final advice would just be at least watch the first at least 10 because, up until then, it's pretty consistently good. And you will laugh. You will laugh a lot.
I mean, they know how to fucking throw their punches for Halloween.
Exactly. That was them in their prime, and they knew exactly what they were doing.
And honestly, there has not been a single Treehouse of Horror episode that I have hated, believe it or not.
Yeah, there hasn't been any of them like that.
Yeah, there's been a few that I'm just like, I don't think I'll watch it again, but there's not been any that I've just been like, that was a piece of garbage.
I never feel like I'm wasting my time when I'm watching the Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Exactly. And, later on we might talk about Christmas ones. I feel the same way about their Christmas episodes.
Mr. Plow.
That name again is Mr. Plow.
Yeah.
So I think this is where we're going to cut it off for tonight.
Yeah.
This has been Riders of the Lost Sword, talking about the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. This has been Nanami-chan.
Andy.
This is Andy.
It's Shigeru Joe. Andy, your hand's in the toaster.
It's stuck in there again. How does he make a time machine out of a toaster?
And we will see you guys next time.
Right on, Riders. Right on.